Good evening, guys and gals. It's Thursday night, and I know this is an unusual night to have a call, and I do appreciate you all taking the time to learn a little bit more about nutrition for the athlete. This is kind of like my love. I was never athletic in school, ever. I was like a band geek, and I didn't find exercise until I was pregnant with my first child. And I said to myself, I need to do something different to feel better. And that's when I committed 14 years ago to exercise. So I was not athletic at all in high school. Then when I found isogenics, I took a very big interest in nutrition. This past year, in addition to doing isogenics, I've taken 3 continuing education courses. I'm also a physical therapist, and I have to keep up my license. So the courses that I chose, along with personal training, this is the one I'm going to be got my information from tonight. It's called Feed for Speed, Sports Nutrition for Peak Performance. Okay, it's about a 200-page book. I summarized it into about 20 slides tonight. So this is where I got all my information for tonight. And again, I'm so excited. Fitness is my passion. Fitness is my passion. If you ever have any fitness questions with nutrition, please reach out to me, please. So I'm going to share the screen here, and we're just going to go. I'm going to go over a few slides, and then I'll stop and come back and see for your questions. So let's see. Here we go. Okay, nutrition for athletes. Some of this is a little bit of a review from yesterday. For those of you that were not on the call, this might be a little bit new for you. So what is a macro? It's also called macronutrient. Macros are what makes up the caloric content of food. So there's 3 categories: fats, carbohydrates, and protein. As we talked about last night, for the average person, it's 40%, usually, not everybody, 40% carbohydrates, 30% protein, and 30% fat. But as you're going to find tonight, athletes are very different than the normal person. It is important to count your macros and not just count your calories, because you need to know where you're getting your calories from, because it really does matter. Take a donut, 200 calories. Take a chicken salad, a salad with chicken on it, 200 calories. Come on. I mean, it makes sense that this one, it's the same 200 calories, but they're totally different. This is all bad stuff, and this is all good for you. Getting the right amount of protein, fat, and carbs will determine whether you're building or losing muscle, and whether you're putting on or losing fat. So macros for the average person versus an athlete would be totally different. And tonight's call is going to focus on the athletes and their macro needs. What are proteins? Protein builds, repairs, and maintains body tissues, which is so important for athletes. You are eating for muscle. Again, you are eating protein for muscle. So the timing of the protein consumption is more critical than the volume. So all of you out there that are on this call that do exercise, when do you drink your shake after you exercise? Are you taking it in within 30 minutes of exercise? Well, taking protein within 30 minutes of finishing exercising stimulates muscle protein synthesis. Okay, super important. This is one thing I never believed in. I was told years ago when I started bike racing how important the timing of nutrients are, and I blew it off, and I didn't listen, and I didn't get faster, and I didn't get stronger. So please, if you're an athlete and you exercise, make sure you drink your shake, and I'm going to go over other things too, within 30 minutes after you're done exercising. Spread your protein intake throughout the day. I got this fact from Dr. Michael Colgan. Do not overeat protein in one meal. Your protein and snacks should not exceed 46 grams of protein. Your body cannot process more than 46 grams of protein at once, okay? So if you're like a big muscle guy and you go and you're like, I need to drink one of those big shakes that have 72 grams of protein after, it doesn't matter. Anything over 46 grams, your body doesn't process. So that's kind of an important fact right there. And spread your protein throughout the day. What are proteins? Now, as you can see, remember yesterday we said protein 30% of the diet should consist of 20 to 30%. Okay, I'm going to preface this. I didn't say it in this beginning. The format I'm talking about tonight has nothing to do with ketosis. I'm sure a lot of you have encountered people that put their body into ketosis in order to exercise. It's not that I don't promote it. But I'm just saying this call tonight does not focus on ketosis. Okay, so we're talking what I learned in this manual. So protein should consist of 20 to 30% of your diets. So write those down. Your protein guidelines, the RDA for an average person, 0.8 grams per kilogram per day. Okay, your strength trained athletes, 1.6 to 1.7 grams per kilogram per day. At 1.4 gram per kilogram per day, that's when it triggers muscle protein synthesis, okay? So if you're strength training, bodybuilding, any of that, it's 1.6 to 1.7 grams per kilogram per day. Endurance athletes, 1.2 to 1.4, up to 2.0. It all depends on your training volume. I mean, you have endurance athletes that have short days where they only run a 5K, and then you have other days where they're running like 20 miles. So obviously on those days you want to up it. And do not exceed 2.0 grams per kilogram per day. Your body cannot process it and actually becomes dangerous at that point. Okay, before I go on to this, let me press escape here and see if there was any questions. Sorry. No questions. Good. No questions about protein. We're going to go into carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is the critical macronutrient and fuel source for athletes. It provides fuel for muscles. Now look at this next one. Should consist of 45 to 60% of your diet. Very different than what we said yesterday, right? High intensity exercise, carbohydrates are preferred for the energy source. So if you're high intensity exercise, I mean exercise multiple hours out, hour and a half or more, the carbs is the preferred source. So I threw a little bit of isogenics in here. If you're only exercising an hour, you want to limit your carbs during exercise to 30 to 60 grams per hour. So what I have found personally, the perfect combination of that is amped hydrate and amped fuel, okay? And that falls right in that 30 to 60 grams per hour. So if you're out for an hour run and you're able to access water or water, I would use hydrate and fuel. Or if you're on a bike, put it in your water bottle, okay? Using carb combinations such as fructose and glucose allows for greater oxidation rates, and our amped fuel has our amped fuel is not just fructose. It's a combination of sugars, and that's exactly what your body needs as an athlete. Your carb guidelines have a very wide range depending on your activity level. So I'm just going to go through these. If one of these catches your eye, if you know someone on your team that it is in one of these categories, write that one down. Baseball, 3 to 5 grams per kilogram per day. Basketball, greater than 5, up to 7 to 12 during a heavy training. Cycling, 7 to 12 grams per kilogram per day. Football, again, greater than 5 or greater with heavier training. Golf is a sport, 3 to 5 grams per kilogram per day. Endurance athletes, 5 to 7. And then again, in heavy training, if you're out there 2, 3, 4 hours, you got to take in carbohydrates, 10 to 12 plus grams. Martial arts, 5 to 6. And soccer, greater than 5 or between 7 and 12 during heavy training. You don't want to go over too much. You ever see like a baseball player, like, I don't know, like 8th grader who like is like downing like this much Gatorade and they're sitting on the bench the whole time? Okay, you got to be playing in order to do these guidelines. So let me go, before we go into fats, let me make sure there's any questions. Got to move this. Hold on. My screen's a little goofed up here. Well, if I can move this. There we go. Stop. What about kids? Kids for what? Carbohydrates? Or for this, Genevieve, this call particularly is for teenager on up. It's not for our kids' age. It's not for like the younger ages.
So freshman in high school up kind of thing.
Yeah. More like, freshmen in high school up. Your high school athletes, yes, all fall in this category, but not like little guys.
Okay, thanks.
Like our little ones. Okay, share screen. What are fats? Fats are the key energy source during long endurance exercise. So as the quote goes, fat burns in a carbohydrate flame. The first 20 minutes when you exercise, you burn carbs. First 20 minutes. Then after that, you burn fat for a very long time. Very long time. There is a point that you start burning protein, but you do not want to get to that. That's why you fuel with the carbohydrates during the exercise. You don't want to start burning protein or you're going to lose muscle. Okay, so you first burn carbs for the first 20 minutes and then fat for a very long period of time. So fats, there's no universal recommendations, generally 1.0 grams per kilogram per day up to 2 for some endurance athletes. And make sure when you choose fats, like we said yesterday, emphasis is on heart-healthy foods such as EVOO. I watch Rachel Ray. Seeds, nuts, avocado, salmon, tuna, coconut oil. I touched on coconut oil last night. Coconut oil is awesome. It is such a good fat. I add a tablespoon to each of my shakes during the day. Yes, they have calories, but again, macronutrients are so important. Calories are important, but coconut oil is a good thing to add to your shakes. Pre-workout fueling. Think about fuel and hydration as part of your internal equipment. You can't show up to practice and be strong, be quick, and last long without pre-fueling. That's a quote from Leslie Bonucci, registered dietitian for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, pre-workout, eat a snack 1 to 2 hours before exercise, and a snack is anything under 200 calories, or eat a meal, which would be about 250 plus calories, 3 to 4 hours before exercise. So let's just say you're running a half marathon. It starts at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., which is not uncommon. You're not going to wake up at 3 a.m. to eat a meal. So you might have to plan that right when you wake up 2 hours before the race, and you're gonna eat something. So what are you going to eat? Provide a sensible fuel combination, such as adequate carbs, some lean protein, low fat, low fiber. Low fiber is critical, guys, for any of you that run. It's just very important, okay? You do not want to be eating a lot of leafy greens right prior to going for, running a half marathon. You're going to be using every porta potty stop along the way. You want to make sure you get some carbs, some protein, and low fat and low fiber. Pre-workout drink 13 to 16 ounces of water at least 4 hours prior to exercise, and if needed, drink 8 to 13 ounces water 2 hours prior to exercise. Obviously, if you're an early morning exerciser, you're not going to get that all in, but these are the recommendations. This is my Isagenix Rocket Fuel, guys, okay? This is what I use every single day before I exercise. I exercise at 4:30 in the morning every day. I mix a little bit of water, probably 4 ounces water, 1 E-Shot, 1 scoop Ionics, 1 scoop of Amped Recover, 1 scoop of Amp Power, and Natural Accelerator, okay? For those of you that don't know these products, an E-Shot is an energy shot, It's all natural. It's a natural form of caffeine. The Ionics is an adaptogen that helps our body, the stress we put on our body with exercise. It helps our body deal with stress and helps regulate our cortisol levels. Amped Recover is branched chain amino acids. The reason I take it before and after is because if you take it before, when you exercise, your branched chain amino acid level drops. So if you take it before, you're not going to, when you're done exercising, you're not going to be in the negative. You might be slightly negative, but you're not going to be as negative as if you didn't take it beforehand. Power is a creatine source. And the Natural Accelerator, that's just the time of day I take it. It's a fat burning, and it helps increase your metabolism. So let's go to during workout fueling, okay? Fueling, if there's no fueling needed, if your exercise is less than 45 minutes. This is kind of important because I see a lot of people at the gym. I'm there for about 2 hours, and I see a lot of people come in and go out in my time. And they're like eating and they're drinking their whatever they got drinking, and they're there for a half hour. Don't overkill it because you're not burning enough to burn what you just drank. So if you're exercising less than 45 minutes, typically nothing is necessary, okay, during workout. For longer events, you want carbs to maintain your blood glucose levels. And again, like I said before, aim for 30 to 60 grams of carbs per hour, which is 4 scoops or 1 stick of amped hydrate and 1 amped fuel. And for ultra endurance, which is greater than 3 hours, you want to make sure you take in 80 to 90 grams of carbs per hour. Very important. During workout, hydration, I hope you didn't think okay. Hydration's so important, okay? 1 liter of sweat could contain up to 2 grams of sodium. So if you're a heavy sweater, and what I mean by that, if you get done with a workout and you feel like a crust on you, on your arms, on your face, or you taste salt, you are a heavy sweater. So that means that number could even be higher. This is really, you do not drinking too much water alone can result in hypernatremia, and that's deadly. So you do not want to drink too much water. You don't want to drink enough water. The best products to use is amped hydrate, because that replaces the sodium lost during sweating, and amped fuel if the exercise is greater than 45 minutes. Okay, before I go to post-workout, let me see if there's any questions. I haven't asked if there's any questions in a minute or two here, a couple minutes. Oh, no. Man, either I've lulled y'all to sleep, or I hope you're learning something. Let me know if you're learning something, because I'm really excited about all this. Okay, post-workout. Fueling immediately post-workout is essential to maximize recovery and get the body ready for peak performance the day after day. Again, Wendy Steering, registered dietitian for the New York Jets. This is utterly important too. If you don't fuel right post-workout, your muscles will not recover for tomorrow's workout. I exercise 7 days a week. I never take a day off. I'm never sore. I make sure that I have my pre-workout. I make sure I do my during workout, and I make sure I do my post-workout. And if I'm at a race, Gail's standing at the finish line with my post-workout stuff. I am like anal about it, because I know how utterly important it is. Eat approximately 1.0 grams per kilogram carbs during the first 30 minutes post-exercise. Recovery meal should also contain essential amino acids in addition to carbs, and the meal should include no more, this is kind of important, no more than 4 grams of fat per 100 calories, because it slows the protein absorption. Our shakes, our Isoline Pro, and I take Isoline Pro 2 shakes a day. Our Isoline Pro shakes fit this. I made sure it fit into this. It does not contain more than 4 grams per 100 calories, again, because that slows the protein absorption, and you want to have protein absorption after a workout. So here's an example of a post-exercise meal. The Isogenics post-exercise meal, 1 Isoline Pro shake with 1 scoop of Amped Recover. Remember, we did it pre. I also do it post. I put isogreens in there. That helps with the lactic acid buildup that occurs in your muscles with exercise. And if really high intensity exercise, I also throw another scoop of Ionics in my shake after a workout, like a half marathon, or if I race a bike race, or I go for like 3 or 4 hours on the bike, I do add Ionics in my after meal. Post-exercise hydration, fully replace fluid and electrolyte deficits within 6 hours of finishing exercise. And you can do that by using Amped Hydrate. So that means when you're done exercising, that doesn't mean it's time to stop drinking. Okay, you want to continue to take in some form of hydration, which to replace your electrolytes, which Hydrate does an awesome job. Why do athletes require extra vitamin and mineral supplements? Because of the stresses placed on the body during training, additional micronutrients are helpful in the recovery process. And that is why we use Recover. And that is why we use Ionics. And that is why it's so hard to get from food, so hard to get from food what our bodies need post-exercise, pre-exercise, during exercise. It really, really is. This course, again, that I went to, this Feed the, he did not talk, obviously, about isogenics, and he did not talk about how to do that. I took my knowledge of isogenics and incorporated into what I learned with his material. Why should you count your macros? Getting the right amount of protein, carbs, and fat into your diet will help you reach your fitness goals. Again, meal plans should have a good balance of all 3 macros. Even your snacks need to be a balance of all 3. When your diet is too low in protein, you could end up losing muscle instead of fat, which results in a lower metabolism. Gail's getting some water out of the water cooler. If you aren't getting enough carbs, you may be very low in energy and may suffer hormonal imbalances, and your exercise will suffer, or you may even result in bonking. Okay, bonking is a word. I didn't make that up. It is a word. Cyclists and runners do know what this word means. And if you ever bonk, it's the worst feeling in the world. And it takes your body like 5 days to recover after bonking. That means you didn't eat right during, you didn't electrolyte replace during, and you didn't eat right before. And you bonk and you hit this wall and you just can't pedal another stroke, and you like literally feel like you're gonna die. So to avoid that, you wanna do everything that I said in this call. So everyone's different. Again, what I set my macros at for my goals are different from where you set your macros at with your goals. And then there's 2 different categories. I said this yesterday: building muscle, boosting metabolism, and fat loss. Tonight's call, again, was more for the athlete. And Amanda and I are starting a really awesome challenge on Monday, guys. We are going to go through everything with you: how to cycle your carbs, how to cycle your calories, how to break plateaus. And since Amanda and I are very athletic, I'm gonna have exercise videos in there of myself and for you guys to do. So I think that's it. Oh, here we go. Helpful ways to easily count your macros. Okay, I had 2 people friend me last night. It was Lisa and Diana, and that was it. So please download MyFitnessPal to your phone. Okay, it's so important. If you want to keep on track or have one of your athletes or one of your people, you download it. And friend me, Fit Mommy Flaig. Plan your night out, food out the night before. Don't try to wing it. Buy a Walmart scale, $3.97 at Walmart, and join an accountability group. Make up your own group. Get people to join you so you can text each other during the day. And just having an accountability partner is awesome. And with our group, we made them. No, we didn't make them because we can't make y'all do anything. But we asked them to get 1 accountability partner from our group and 1 accountability partner outside the group. And they're working really hard at getting their accountability pros, and I'm proud of them. So now I think that's it. So I'm going to press escape here. and go back to here. Okay, Tara. Okay, coconut oil. There's so many different types of coconut oil. I think that's, it says Team Inspiration, but I think that's Sue. Give me 1 second. I'll show you the stuff that a chiropractor here in town recommended to me and I bought off Amazon. You can't get it in the stores, so just hold on 1 second. You see that? MCT, 100% naturally sourced MCT oil made from organic coconuts. I bought it on Amazon. It's very, very light, Sue, very thin, doesn't have a taste at all. It's not like the coconut oil you buy. It's liquid. It's not hard and then sometimes gets liquid depending on the weather. This is all liquid. This is what I use in my shakes. I've done a lot of research on this. It is a fat burner, and like I said, the chiropractor in town highly recommended it, so I use it. It's odorless, unflavored. That may be a good choice. You may want to try that stuff.
Hold that still for 1 second so I can take a picture. Thank you, that's
Okay. Let's see. Anybody else? Anybody? Did this help anybody today? I know, you know, not all of us have athletes. Oh, Deb Hatfield, are you on this call? Oh, she is. She just asked me if you're a friend on my Fitness Pal. See? That makes me happy. Okay. Yes. So again, guys, ketosis is totally different. So if you have a person and you get these athletes, like, ketosis. Okay, that's different. Don't give them these advice. You talk to me or talk to one of your people on your team that understands what ketosis is, because the protocol that I told you with the percentages will not put you in ketosis. Ketosis is like 5% carbohydrates. So it's a totally different thing. This is just from what I learned. Thank you, Genevieve. Yes. Yep. I'm going to be recording this and I will put it on the group, and you can use it however you want. If you actually go on YouTube and put Tara Flaig, my first and last name, it'll come up with every single team call we've done on Zoom. So that's another way you can access our team calls if you don't find the link anywhere. But I do thank you guys and gals for joining me on a Thursday night, which is an odd night. And I hope you learned something. And if you have any questions at any time, I hope you know that I'm available, except after 9 p.m. because I go to bed. Because I go to bed early, but otherwise I'm up at 4:15. So you can always contact me, and I want to help as much as I can. Genevieve, do you have any questions or anything to add? No?
No, I'm good. I got on for as long as I could, and I think all the questions I have are definitely ones that I can just ask you after.
Okay, sounds good.
You're teaching me a lot, but not everybody needs to hear all the questions that I have. Thank you.
Awesome, guys and gals. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and have a great night.
Thanks, Genevieve.
Okay.
Thanks, Tara.
Yeah, bye.